All right, we made it back. Now for a top 6.
The top 6. Here we go. All right, so 6 was a pretty good position. I really like what he did, going explosive. We've got D's nuts at the 6th slot. Went Vic.
Yep.
Went Vic. What do you think?
I think he's got tons of potential sitting there at quarterback with Mike Vick, even Kevin Cobb there. Throw him in for a few starts there. Cam Newton, who knows what you got there for the future.
He can scramble for sure.
He can definitely scramble. Shipley, you might have the next Wes Welker right there sitting on your roster as a good keeper too. So I really like what you did. Just came up real solid overall.
I like that running back position. We got Ahmad Bradshaw, Darren McFadden, throw in Tim Hightower, and who knows with Spiller and Tashard Choice. It's a really good team, and when you've got good positions all around, I think we could really see some good things. How about Dallas Clark, 6th round? You know, coming off the injury, I think last year he was more like a 3rd or 4th round pick. Slides a little bit.
Yeah.
Same Colts offense. I think that was a pretty good scoop, so I got D's nuts at the 6th spot. Coming in at 5, the Indiana Donkeys.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot, taking Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Big Play, Mr. Super Bowl champ, #1 overall top guy. Aaron Rodgers going first. What did you see after that?
I looked at the roster, didn't see any holes. He's solid all around. I don't see anywhere where he's going to need to really scramble, fill in on the waiver wire. I like the young talent at running back. I mean, he's got with Snelling, with Turner, Beanie Wells, Brandon Jacobs. I mean, he's definitely solid there. And I see Gresham as the great keeper value pick there. Really looking for the future. Stealing him at 13. You got a starting tight end.
We'll see what happens with Mike Sims-Walker. I know he was really high on him. You take him in the 6th round. Reggie Wayne in the 3rd round, pretty good. Ocho in the 5th. Julio Jones is a good option in the 8th. Unfortunately, couldn't slide him to the 10th spot. Bernard Scott is a guy I see that could be a nice dynasty keeper. Maybe Jason Snelling. He's on the last year of his deal also. So the Indiana Donkeys we've got at the 5 slot. Coming in at the 4, Tallahassee Tallywhackers. Very, very good draft. I like those quarterbacks. He went and got Peyton Manning. What else do you think?
Well, along with Peyton Manning, then you follow that up with stealing Sam Bradford in the 10th round. There's your keeper pick right there. Javad Best took that right in front of me. He was definitely right there. You know, if Detroit runs well, Detroit plays well, he's going to put up points. Great wide receivers. Looking at, you know, with Austin Collie, Larry Fitzgerald, Mario Manningham, Hines Ward. I mean, even Mike Williams might even get some production out of. So right there, you're looking real solid.
A lot of upside also. Denario Alexander. I'm not sure if he's a keeper if you also got Bradford, but he's another guy that came in when healthy and can definitely produce big plays, stretch the field like Mike Wallace type. Jimmy Graham in the 7th round. A lot of guys were high on him. I thought the end of the 7th was right about the spot for him. Like I said, I was hoping that he would fall to me. Didn't quite happen. So Tallywhackers, nice draft. Tip of the cap to you. You get the 4 slot.
All right, top 3.
Top 3. Here we go. Coming in at the 3, the Cowboys from hell. For the personal diagnosis, here are your Cowboys.
I'm probably a little biased here, but basically I'm really relying on the Houston offense. If the Houston offense plays well, I should be holding the trophy at the end of the year. Very young on the bench, but I'm looking at an upside for that. My tight ends should get a lot of looks at the goal line, sitting there with Owen Daniels, if he can stay healthy. Dustin Keller's a little security blanket for Mike Sanchez. So hopefully they get a lot of looks. Defense is solid, and getting Javon Rieger or even the Eagles defense at 11 as my keeper. Hopefully those contracts play out and they play well. I can keep them around. So
yeah, this team reminds me a lot of the Indiana Donkeys team, where we don't really see a lot of holes. You see a solid core. I like Mendenhall, big year. He's been getting better and better. His team is a good team, poised to make a run. He's the prime, ready to do it. Andre Johnson, Deshaub, I think is a great handcuff. You throw in Jennings, and you've really, really got a solid team. Mark Ingram, the guy, big-time offense.
Big time. Hopefully
they traded up to get him.
Yep. Hopefully he's going to get some playing time.
We'll see how that goes. Is he got a guy immediate production? I don't know. We'll see if not. You got guys like Benjarvis Green-Ellis, who had 13 touchdowns last year, definitely can step in the flex spot without really missing a beat. Coming in at 2,
Denver Deer.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and take a look here. I love my quarterback. I love Phillip Rivers. He was leading the league almost all last year in total points scored. My first-round pick, I was begging from the beginning for Ray Rice to fall to me. It did. You know, Grady mentioned one of those times where you wish you could just pass on the pick. Well, luckily with my first 2, the guys fell right in the right spot for me. After that, in the 3rd round, I went to Deshaun Jackson. I remember, just big plays. We're talking 40-yard plays. Get those bonuses here. Yep. That's got Deshaun written all over him. Even if he has 12 catches, they're probably going to be for 1,300 yards each. I also like Des Bryant, A.J. Green, a little young, Greg Little, very young. So we'll see. Nothing at tight end, but very good receivers. I think Des Bryant is a guy that really is going to be a top 5, top 7 receiver, right with Calvin and Roddy by the time we're done with this year.
Yep, I got you right there. I mean, obviously with Deshaun Jackson getting taken right in front of me, I mean, that was a great pick. Solid production is going to come out of the quarterback position. With Benson and Ray Rice, he's going to be totally solid at the starting running back. My only question is what's there on the bench. Hopefully you get a lot of good production coming out of there as well. Tons of young talent at the wide receiver position. Looking at Antonio Brown, Des Bryant, like I said, A.J. Green, Deshaun Jackson, Greg Little. I mean, you've got tons of potential right there. It might be totally explosive. Ravens was a great pick at 13, and Greg Little, I mean, that's a great keeper pick right there for looking for the future.
Yeah, I think Little is probably the keeper I'm hopefully looking at. But then, me and those young running backs, Patriots drafted a guy in the 2nd round, so I got him. Colts running back, you never know. Like those guys at running back, we'll see. I was very happy that with Ray Rice, I was able to handcuff with Ricky Williams in like the 17th, 16th round.
Yeah, right at the very end.
Right at the very end. That was big in case my man breaks down.
All right, so for number 1, that leaves us
nothing but the mob. Looking at a very top ranking. I think he drafts pretty well because I remember giving him a pretty good ranking at least one time before. Not a typical top dynasty. No championships for the mob. He's not the defending champ. Not the 3-time. Not a top points per gamer. But I thought he came out with a great squad. Opened up, I see Chris Johnson, Drew Brees. Tell me what you think.
Looks like he had a great game plan going in. Looking at Burris, Bo, and Williams, they're definitely going to produce from the wide receiver position. And getting Aaron Hernandez, that was a great sleeper pick. Jordy Nelson, it was a great late pickup. I mean, he just, from top to bottom, I mean, it was just totally solid coming around. Picked up Drew Brees, 2nd round, getting a lot of production there. Obviously with Chris Johnson, hopefully he can figure out his contract, get on the field. I mean, you just top to bottom. Once again didn't see any holes anywhere where any slack needs to be picked up. There should be a lot of big numbers coming out of that position.
He's got Reggie Bush, Ryan Grant kind of in that flex spot, and those are 2 good guys to have in there. If there's any kind of knock, he's also got Amendola, who's going to be your steady point producer. So he's got a little bit of everything mixed in, enough big plays, enough steady guys. Waited at tight end, didn't go till the 11th or 16th. If there's one knock, I guess you could say he doesn't have a great keeper option outside of maybe Jordy Nelson or Aaron Hernandez. Mike Williams at the end of the 4th I thought was an excellent pick to really give him a solid receiving core with depth. And Drew Brees and Chris Johnson, little Kyle Orton.
Absolutely.
How about Kyle Orton? He was Mr. 30-point last year. So there's your draft recap. Once again, top to bottom, somewhere in here. The 12th spot, Genesis. 11, BTR. 10, The Home Record. 9, Naughty Beavers. 8, Number 8 Forever. 7, The Backwoods Dogs. 6, D's Nuts. 5, The Donkeys. 4, The Tallywhackers. 3, The Cowboys from Hell. 2, My Denver Deer. And 1, number 1, preseason pick, The Mob. Good night.
See you on the field.
Game time.